anybody hasn't been here before, this is Poetry in the Garden. We're just gonna let it warm up, give people a chance to get here, maybe about 6:20, 6:30, get started, and I'll give you a further heads up.
How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Alright. Just work today and then pretty much gotta go back to work tomorrow. I finally got a second job. Went back around to my second job. Left my second job and I'm coming back around to it.
Similar.
It's just black and white, so they just thought it was a mole, yeah. And then one time they did like a cover and it was like silver. And they're like, oh, it's up, I guess up. Yeah.
I guess it's on me to bring an army. Thought and energy. Wanna thank you for being, breathing, and believing. Not what you're seeing, American or European. Put the words together, birds of a feather. If it's fourth quarter or first, I feel no pressure. I get it. Up and down like I'm doing push-ups, lift-ups. Stand up if you're gonna throw your hands up. If you in a situation where you gotta man up, that means you gotta pull your pants up. Or I'm just rhyming up with up, I'm out of luck. Who do you trust when times is tough? It's probably not them. I hope you with your friends in a situation where it depends if you going home or jail in a black Benz with a helmet on, screaming F ICE, they want us all. Matter of fact, let me check your passport. You don't pass in these ports and you don't ball in any sport on our court or field. Take it there, David Copperfield. I'm right here and then I disappear. A little sprinkle of dust. I came through with something you ain't heard, not just man, but all of us. We jumping out of trees like crazy Vietnamese with the machete. I'm on the DJ in the back trying to mess me up already.
Since I fucked up the beat, I'll jump in with this speech. Who is C-H-I-M-P at the end is another C. What's it stand for? As me and unfriendly, I'll answer. A young cancer turn into a dancer just to enhance your every stance. But it might burn you, watch your turn, cuss and keep it turning. Cause when I get to learning, it gets hot. I smoke pot, my head's in the knot, or a couple. Mr. Arbuckle came to make you chuckle. For a knuckle, or three. Is it January or December? Either way, it's time to harvest. Flows I'm spitting sometimes is garbage, but put it in your compost. When I spit flows, it's not your avocado toast. I don't like raisins in my potato salad. It's not valid. It's not a ballad, but you can dance to it, wave your hands to it, or just sit and snap and say, if that's how you show your love. Thank everybody for coming out. That's called a hip-hop cypher, half-assery. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my man Sleazy Sleaze, Papa Slim. Thank y'all out for coming out. What we are at is called Poetry in the Park / Garden. As you can see, there is a garden. Not mine, not yours, but ours. Headmaster of which being young Miss Freddie, and I will let her come explain some things about it to you.
Thank you all for coming. This project here is Red Star Solidarity Garden, Community Garden. We started it 3 Septembers ago, so it's coming on 4 years, and it's very minor budgets, very low, like basically like just trying to get food out there, and our main purpose is to provide food through our hot meals program that we serve to the community. So it's also Chico Red Meals. We provide meals to anyone who needs it. We do that every week, rain or shine, sometimes about 6 times a month. And yeah, so this is a learning center, a third space where we can all be here. This is an access and opportunity space to grow your own food, to harvest. Everyone here is already contributing to the garden, just being here in presence, and y'all are welcome to take any flowers, take any herbs, take some garlic, take some, we got some loquats over there, there's plums right over your head, some artichokes. Just let me know if you need help harvesting. There's kale out there. You're welcome to take some home. because this is for the community. Yeah, and we just do volunteer days usually every Sunday, and that's an opportunity to learn, or if you've got collaborative skills, horticultural skills, that can be really helpful. You may have seen a bunch of weedy spots. Well, that's just me not being able to keep on it. So anyway, thank you so much for coming out here.
Where do you serve the meals?
What's that?
Where do you serve the meals?
We serve them at the Plaza downtown every Tuesday, and then we serve at the South Chico Community Assistance Center during their food bank. That's second and fourth Saturdays.
So, that's what we do here is church type vibes of a different aura from a different mother, non-Abrahamic type activities. You know, if you grow, you show. Anywho, thank everybody for coming out. And as Freddie said, just by showing up, it's a revolutionary act because you allow yourself to be a medicine for others in this space, but also just allow yourself to be exposed to a certain type of medicine. That's really precious and powerful, and I'm excited to see what version rears its head to see. What we do here, when you feel it, I'll call and ask who's feeling it. If you're feeling it, please don't hesitate to let it be known. You'll come up and you can share acoustic song, a short story, or poetry of your own or your favorite artist. Feel free to get it in as long as you need. I like to try to give people as much space as they need, but also just keep an eye out for me, because if it's getting a little long-winded, you know what I mean, as we tend to, we just feeling it, you know what I mean, and I want you to feel that, but I also might stick my hand up like, you know what I mean, start slowing it, wrapping it up, and I usually don't have to do that, so if you make me do that, you know what I mean, it's kind of, anywho, we'll talk about it after. We start off with a sacrificial poem, and if there's anyone that feels like being the sacrificial lamb, I will feel it in my spirit, and I don't, and so it will be me. I will be the black man that dies in the horror movie first. Again, you know, the price of excellence. Bless you. Bless us all. This poem is called Silence. And it goes. Thank you. That's something I wrote at a time when I was sitting in the crowd and I was supposed to be listening to the poem, but I was writing my own poem, so I hope y'all enjoyed that, because that other person didn't get enjoyed by me in that moment, which brings me to focus. We're all here with each other, and you know, we might want to start getting our little sidebar on about something that happened yesterday or might be happening tomorrow. Make sure we're giving love and respect and honor to the person who's bearing their soul on stage. They say that public speaking is sometimes scarier than death to some folks. And so these people up here standing on the precipice deserve our attention. And if you hear anything that you like, you know, don't be afraid to snap or groan, like Mama's Chicken. I don't know if y'all ever had Mama's Chicken. Anyways, I'll be getting derailed like a mug. And so with that being said, who is ready to share their shine?
I'll go first.
Beautiful. What was your name?
Owana.
Owana. Make some noise for Owana.
This is called True Story. I place myself in your shoes. I've seen the path you walk down, the lonely nights, wondering why you don't have time. Asking myself, is it my fault for your absence? I've seen the dedication you've shown, given to the streets, night after night, crying wonder, will I ever know who's inside me? Searching for answers with no clues. As time flies, years, months, hours, my pain only grows deeper. A scar that can't be hidden. Calls, gifts, can't replace your presence. So blind you wouldn't accept the responsibility that I needed you here to hold me when I was scared, to make me laugh when I was lost. No matter how far away you are, you're always on my mind. as if the relationship impairs my ability to break the cycle. Loving men such as yourself, streets come before being a father. How's that fair? Easy to point blame when will reality set in. Enough is enough. Let go, let God. He'll never let you down. You're my child. I shall walk along your side at the darkest, brightest times, cherishing every moment as if it's our last. Time is priceless. Love is priceless. Family is priceless. Something that's eternal. Never take either for granted, nor turn your back on those you created. Not your followers, your fans, your prince, your princess. You're a father who's unknown. Can you live with that? A scar that you've made excuses for over and over, sounding like a broken record. Playing the same lines. Playing the same line. I'm sorry.
So it begins the displaying of the souls. You know, it's a powerful thing with everything going on in the world today, you know what I mean, for us to be able to come together and remind each other what it is to be human. You know, so I thank you for sharing that with us. Anybody else feeling the juices getting looses? Make some noise for Big Slim.
It's different when we get up here. All right, so animosity fills my heart, so I speak the hate when I talk. So much stress on my shoulders, frowned upon by God. It's the life I lead, uplifted by yak and weed, depending on Jack D to set me free. I feel the heat of the night, temptations of suicide, but I'm never so real in front of baby girl eyes. Seen that light once when I was younger, but I got pulled down quick, where it was 10 times harder. Father, forgive me for falling in a hole so deep. I'm so restless in the night, I need the weed to sleep. Incoherent to the world, but I feel you calling me in my dreams. Sometimes I can see my destiny. What's the real meaning of life? I was told I'd find out when I'm 80, but by that time I'm probably dead already. I've been feeling dead lately, but it's not because I'm... It's that I won't die, it's that I can't be defeated. I'm a soldier. Look me right in the eye. Never say the word quit as long as I'm alive. I'm a hustler. Stay after that Skrilla till the day I can say I'm $1 million. I'm a dreamer, so I'ma dream that dream till I can reach out and make it a reality. And I'm a rider, so I'ma do it all again till the wheels fall off. I start all over again. Look, I ain't perfect, but I'm trying to be a spinning image, change my life to a better way, search for brighter days when them bills don't come and baby mamas ain't. When people don't judge you over brand name stitches, I can see my end already. Came to me in a dream, I was dressed in all white like them hospital things. Had a conversation with God about my life. He busted out a pie chart with all my wrongs and rights. Told me he loved me anyway. I was one that he liked, cause even though I got wrong, I always turned back right. So as an early Christmas gift, he returned my life. Told me he had more to do before I called it a night. Told me to use records for more than personal use. It's a child in the world who's been looking for truth, and he listens to my records just to follow his souls. To each his own. If he listens, then I gotta let him know I'm a soldier. Look me right in the eye. Never say the word quit as long as I'm alive. I'm a hustler. Stay after that Skrilla till the day I can say I'm $1 million. I'm a dreamer, so I'ma dream that dream till I can reach out and make it a reality. And I'm a rider, and I'ma do it to the end till the wheels fall off. I'll start all over again. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
How's everybody feeling? It is humid out here. Am I wrong? Am I ever wrong? Experience. So much is simple once experienced. The privilege to be able. I've had and lost it often. But without each step, the world will be infinitely shifted. Gifted with this specific vision of existence, I'm grateful for what it isn't. Aware of possibility. So I think. So I thought. Welcome, welcome. Who is feeling ready to get steady? It's Freddie.
Steady Creddy.
Oh, did we just hang
Oh, what? No, I was.
Make some noise for Freddie.
Something. Is that you?
Yeah, they like it. You like that?
I'm gonna start with a poem from Hafiz, the Sufi poet from somewhere. It's called "My Eyes So Soft." Don't surrender your loneliness so quickly. Let it cut more deep. Let it ferment and season you as few human or even divine ingredients can. Something missing in my heart tonight has made my eyes so soft, my voice so tender, my need of God absolutely clear. And then maybe I'll do an old one and then move on. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I got a letter. I'm gonna open it. I don't know exactly what it says, but it's from New York. That's where I was born. And I submitted a request for amending my birth certificate. I don't know how all this works, so we'll find out if I did all the right things. Well, they got my name right. Dear Winifred Wright, our office has prepared and filed an amended birth certificate for Winifred Josephine Wright. The enclosed certified copy is issued without charge and is acceptable as proof of name, place, and date of birth. There it is. This has been a pain in the ass for years, and now, oh my gosh, okay, I'm so happy for this. And there's a bunch of other stuff. If there's an error on the enclosed certificate, looks good to me. Please submit a request, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Aww. This is amazing.
Been doing this for a long time. It's always something new, something magic, something special. You know what I mean? It's a treat, it's a privilege, and it's just really a testament to the thin line that hold mountains together. You know what I mean? The gravity that is your little self, your little spirit in the universe, connecting multiverses with your every action. So never think, oh man, somebody else will do it, because nobody else can do what you've been sent here to do. And so keep being yourself. It's appreciated. Thank you for sharing that with us, Freddie. Anyone else feeling called to share in this moment? Please, Jen.
You can go to a place and use your voice, use the instruments that you have, and not have to pay to do it or to listen to it. It's a special thing. Money's gonna be worth nothing no more, no more. There's gonna come a time when it makes no sense to wage war against our sisters on the other side of the fence. All money worth nothing no more, no more. There's gonna come a time when it makes no sense to wage war against our brothers on the other side of the fence. True wealth is in your health, so take care of yourself. I got these hands I put in the land, so I have fresh food to eat. The grave of my feet, telling me where I need to go. Come and eat. Ain't nothing, just a journey of the soul. My money be worth nothing no more. Where I'm going, man, money ain't gonna be worth nothing no more, no more. There's gonna come a time when it makes no sense to wage war against our aunties on the other side of the fence.
industry has proven to be carelessly consuming life and energy. We're starting to leave it alone. This money motivation means the commons will be taken till we change our habits to what's really important.
Someday soon we all could have what we need.
Yeah.
Wouldn't need a monetary system to tell us who to be.
No.
I can feel the people of the world are
Waking up.
Gonna come together.
Gonna make it work.
All live together. Community. That's the way it's gonna be. When the
Money ain't gonna be worth nothing no more.
There's
Gonna be a time
when it makes no sense to
wage war against our mother.
Gracias.
I think I'll stay up here. But for many winters, our family migrated south with the gray whales. Our family, Jimmy, myself, and our 2 children that we were homeschooling. Gray whales migrate annually on one of the longest migrations of any mammal. Their journey is up to 14,000 miles round trip between their Arctic feeding grounds and the Mexican breeding lagoons. The eastern Pacific population migrates, passing California in December and January, heading south, and again between mid-February and early May, heading north. I had been practicing Tai Chi for about a decade, and on this February morning, I was up on a berm not more than 20 feet from the crashing waves. The shoreline at La Pastora drops extremely fast to 600 feet, making it the perfect ballena whale nursery. The mamas hang offshore in the deep waters where their babies are safe closer to shore. That year, locals were calling it Muy Mágico, with many more babies than usual. After about a half an hour, I realized that there was this whale that was hanging out with me. I had been feeling the onshore spray of the whale's mist on me, adding to my Tai Chi beach practice. I had the feeling it was a male juvenile, and I went down by the water and began to sing to this magnificent creature. I moved into a trance, singing and clapping, and then I thought, oh, I should communicate with him. So I asked him to show me, I said, show me your body. And then he turned, and one flipper went up, then he rolled over, and then the other went up. And I'm in a trance, you know. I was mesmerized, and then I asked, how long are you? And he kind of tipped its head up, you know, its snout up, and then the tail. And then suddenly I heard him in my mind say, okay, I'm out of here, and just like jetted out. And I stood there like waving, bye. And then I saw Jimmy, who was out on the surf lineup coming out of the water. And you know, at that point I'm going, well, did I imagine this? And he comes over and he says, was that whale doing tricks for you? So then I knew, wow, okay, I guess so. Then a regret snuck in. I could have asked this whale the meaning of life, or anything much more significant than, instead I asked it to do tricks like a dog. But now I'll know better next time when I have another interspecies communication. And actually, I've had a few later. Thank you.
I'll be sitting there and I'll be listening, and then like my MC brain is like trying to put it all together, and then I just be like getting blown away by shit, and I'm just like, and yeah, man, that's a very beautiful story. I ain't got nothing to connect it to nothing, man. That's just a beautiful fucking story. But what I can connect something to, I'm back. Jim said priceless activities and the idea of just these priceless activities of your presence. Because that's what they really want more than anything. You know, we get this idea in our head that it's all about money, 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 money. But really, we want money because we want to do all these different things. And it's no different for the people that are grinding our bones. You know what I mean? They might have lost their way along the way of what they really wanted was, you know, their family to be protected for generations or whatever. And then they just got lost in that cycle of money, money, money. And so I say all that for no reason other than that's true. But also true is I've never really had much money. But I've always been rich as fuck, growing up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? And black folks who know what I'm talking about, it's like, we ain't never had the money to really be on that type time, so we done made richness out of something that the world is like, oh shit, we need that shit. And so everywhere we look, it's like these things that we just commodifying out of rat bones, you know what I mean? And now you can't even buy a rat for $600 type shit, you know what I mean? That's how it goes down. And what's the point? What's the point? What's the meaning of life? Got it. Got it. Like, anyways, who wants to get me up off the stage and spit something way more valuable? Please. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Angela.
Angela. Make some noise for Angela.
I wrote my intro down so I don't lose my train of thought. So yesterday, I was sitting with what was going on in the morning news, and at the same time reading a book that I'm reading called The Sophia Code. And yesterday's chapter was on White Buffalo Woman, and her message is on living in harmony and abundance with one another, interconnectedness, respecting all beings, and living peacefully together. So I kind of envision this poem, inspired by those two things, being a message kind of like from a future, more evolved timeline reflecting back to us. I remember when we still believed there were borders between breath, between skin tones and soil, when power wore a mask of control and called itself loyal. I come from a place where the heart leads, where silence isn't fear, but the hush between creeds, where every being, winged, walking, or wild, belongs to one body, each soul a child of love remembering itself. I remember the sirens, not the kind that sing you home, but the ones that split open the sky and made even the brave feel alone. The ones that made children flinch for simply being born on the wrong side of the fence someone once drew in chalk. We built cages for the dreamers, not seeing they were echoes. We forgot that freedom's not bestowed, it's recalled like a song that lives in bone. But even then, beneath boots and barricades, there were seeds still whispering to the moon. I am the voice of the self you become when you stay soft in a world that rewards stone. When sorrow sculpts you into something whole, not broken, but known. So come, shed the armor of opinion, lay down the labels that don't belong. They were never yours, they were never strong. There is a path of breath and becoming. It appears when you loosen your eyes, when you see not the mask, but the soul in disguise, observing each other as mirrors. Here, we speak the wind. We build not with walls, but with presence. We walk beside deer, not to conquer, but to learn their essence. We bow to the waters because we're made of rain, but still every drop remembers our hallowed name. There's no them here, only we, only again, only home, as it's always been. Here, we do not punish pain, we hold it, we tend it like the flame. We make space for the wild grief and the joy that walks beside it, barefoot beneath the same sky. We remember how to dream in rhythm, how to drum our prayers into the ground, how to call to sky not as gods, but as kin. Your anger is holy, your longing is light, even your silence sings through the night. And when you forget, as we all sometimes do, lean into the breath. The breath remembers, the earth remembers, and I do too. So come, step out of the noise and into the knowing. Let the old world crumble behind you, not in rage, but glowing. Walk barefoot, speak like a gentle breeze. Love like it's what you came here for, because it is. The doorway is open, it always has been, and you are the light codes you've been waiting to awaken.
And that's where I keep coming back to with these events recently, with everything that's been going on over the past year and a half, you know, thing with the just devastation going on in Gaza. And, you know, just the continual gender wars, you name it, the list of things that they've got us just boxing ourselves off into these different boxes and finding ways to not unify and communicate with each other. And a lot in that piece was really speaking to where I feel that we all need to try to find our way, you know, and then it all starts with self first, you know, so I need to find that space of just like being able to just finding that balance, you know, because we do be in danger type shit, you know. You can't keep putting yourself in front of the gun and the knife and the this and the that, but at some point you do also have to like come outside of that safe zone with an energy that's conducive to making more spaces safe, you know what I mean? So I thank you for sharing that. That touched me in that way. Who else is ready to get steady? Courtney, make some noise for Courtney.
This is Tim. He's 13. He's been in foster care since he was 3. 10 years longing, 10 years of not being wanted, 10 years of being the government's child. But it's okay, don't you know? There's so many people who would adopt him. If they were younger or older or richer or had fewer children or could qualify, they would adopt him. But they won't, and that's okay. Don't you know? They'll pray. They'll pray to a God that 10 years ago made a decision to leave Tim. Stranded, unloved, and alone as part of his plan. What about Tim's plan? Tim plans on a mom to worry about him, a dad to pay attention, a sibling to play with. I guess God's not ready for Tim to have that life, but that's okay. Don't you know? Tim has the best dad of all. In fact, he's better off. Tim's dad has taught him to be resilient and to manage expectations, especially if that expectation is being adopted by a loving family. But that's okay, don't you know? Tim's alive, and that's all that matters. So I have this one's a work in progress. I only have like one passage for it so far, and I'm very open to input because it's definitely like a new experience for me to go this route. You'll know if you know at this point. I want a black friend. Not because they're black, but because I don't want to be surrounded by an echo chamber. I'm tired of shared experiences and longing for someone's shared experience. Stories so unfamiliar to me that they remind me what it's like to be uncomfortable. And that's all I have on that so far. So if anyone has some input, or if you're like, hey, my input is don't do that, that's acceptable too. Thank you.
Do that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about for me, you know, I mean, more than like the pentameters and the scientific measurements and all that. It's about just tapping into this energy that is, you know, expressive of your inner experience and connection, you know what I mean? And that really touches on all of that, so I appreciate where you're going with it. Ooh, oh, my man Bang was already ready to get it. Let me not forget. Make some noise for Tang.
So my name is Tang Bang, and I kind of want to go off what you were saying before I share my poetry. And it's funny, for those who didn't know, I was incarcerated for 10 years. I didn't learn about culture until I got locked up. Because when you lock up, especially in juvenile hall, in juvenile hall, you settle with different races. I settle with white people, I settle with black people, I settle with Mexican, I settle with Asian. And I'm living there. I'm from, I don't get no closer than that. So we learn about each other. But when I went to, that's also I made my very first black friend. And we still friends today, Romeo Brown from Sacramento. He was a Crip. And what made him and I connected was that, because I was locked up for shooting, and I came up the street, and he was in the street too. But he was familiar with my people, and I think it's one thing that made us click in the beginning. And sometimes we would go to court together, and we both shackle up. We were charged an adult, so when you charge an adult, even as a kid, you shackle up. You shackle up like you're going to prison. So me and we shackle up, and they put in this holy tank, right? And instead of focusing on him being black and being Asian, we focus on the fact that we both are minority, we both are kids that grew up in the system. He's looking a whole bunch of time, I'm looking a whole bunch of time. You know, I know I did 10 years, I think he did 50 years. First day he came home, he called me. He said, hey, I'm out. I'm like, what? You out? You out. And I told him the whole time I was locked up, every prison I went to, I looked for you. You know what I mean? But I never saw you. But then again, I told him maybe it was a good thing because if there was a race riot, I don't want to do anything to you. And he said the same thing. I think that if we get to a race riot and I saw you, I'm gonna act like I don't see you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I can't see myself doing that to you. And I told him that. Well, anyway, I got that out of the way. So I got 3 poems for you guys. A lot of my poems tend to be serious because I went through a lot.
The story is priceless, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you, man. This one's called Diamond in the Dirt. There's a diamond in the dirt that's trying to survive. The war is suffocating me as I try to keep my spirit alive. When I found my spark, it was like I found a hidden gem. I know I don't compare myself to any of them. There's a diamond in the dirt that still gleams. It may have scratches, but it still sparkles with the hope and the dream. It wants to step out the darkness and dance in the light. It knows that every day don't have to be a fight. There's a diamond in the dirt that still breathes. In its darkest hour, cold and alone, but it still believed. It learned how to remove the dirt as it started to shine underneath the rough surface and found a beautiful mind. There's a diamond in the dirt, but it's still precious. My fire gives me the wings to rise from the ashes. From the deep black hole, to see the sun started climbing. Bless the diamond in the dirt when nobody else saw it as a diamond. And this one is called My Armor. My armor has been through many fights. It has tasted defeat and victories. The dents in my plate are a testament to my will, for I carry a long battle history. I was able to nurture some wounds, but I couldn't heal all of my injuries. The strength that lies deep within my core is now a muscle memory. My armor is the plate that was made from the courage in my heart. This lightning coursing through my veins with a thunderous spark. My greatest victories are the long battles in the dark. I took the bleeding curtains on my pain and turned it into an art. My armor was forged from the strength of steel deep in my soul. With cuts and blisters on my hands, I paved my own road. From the deepest layers of soil, I found a way to grow. There's a beauty in my boldness like thorns on the rose. My armor may not look shiny or perfect, but with each battle scar, the fight was worth it. And with each tear shed, I find my purpose. My armor is the smile that I wear on the surface. And this one, so I'm a big fan of rap, especially more rap in my time, like in the late 90s and early 2000s. My favorite rapper is Tupac. And this poem is called Tupac Was My Teacher. Tupac was my teacher. He taught me how to speak my mind, how to speak from the depth of my soul with every line. He taught me just because you're in the dark doesn't mean you have to be blind. And the deeper you're in the dark, the brighter you have to shine. Tupac was my teacher. He taught me how to express my heart, how to take my scars and turn my pain into a beautiful art.
He taught me it's okay if you have a different kind of spark. Your fire is misunderstood. They don't understand the rhythm of your heart. Tupac was my teacher. He taught me it's okay for a strong man to cry and to be true to my soul when I look deep inside. He taught me to be more afraid to live than afraid to die. When you become one with the wind, it's when you truly fly. Tupac was my teacher. He taught me how to care for another human being, how compassion and empathy are the important thing. He taught me that my words have power just like a preacher. He plays a part of who I am today because Tupac was my teacher. Thank you.
Tupac was also my teacher. Dope dude, man. Assata Shakur as well. His family, whole family. Tulu Shakur, free them all. If you're sitting in the crowd, you're like, man, I want to get up and share, but I don't got a story. I don't got no poetry. I got something just for you. Poetry by my favorite poet, Audre Lorde. And this is a collection of her poetry. You could just spin the globe, stick your finger on it, and you will be reading something with the most profundity. And so I encourage someone to take that challenge if you have nothing of your own or something you don't want to share and you want to shine your light. Not looking at anybody.
Wait, a little louder.
Louder?
Yeah, a little bit.
Every time I go to the window, there's people looking funny like they want to give me kisses and a whole lot of money. They rub my tummy while saying, honey, we love you so much. But if you keep stepping back, then you're pretty much giving up. So you need to quit thinking negative things. Take a different approach. It means of making your gains. You leave the reins of the chains you're wearing as a vest. Open up and keep that weight off your chest. Risk your test with the rest. Was scared to try living life locked inside because they were scared to die. The reason why this way of living life is hard to find is because nobody thinks they're looking where the answer lies. It's in the eyes of your inner self, the root of your soul. Place that everybody finds the hardest place to go. Hard to grow if you don't know the way to progress. So just study your reflection and you'll learn it from the best. A test is harder than you guess. Don't settle for less. Cause if everything came easy, I'd be wasting my breath. Remember, death is just another way of life you should live. Leave the memories that last throughout the generations. So in the end, what's it worth to pursue what you need? To prevent yourself from falling short of living your dreams. Forget the greed, it'll never feed your purpose or worth. The earth has chosen you for greatness from the day of your birth. Look towards the hearth of the fire, it's burning inside. Douse the flames of kerosene, watch the flames as they rise. The ride is tough, but you must set your sails to the wind. Use the tools you were given, and there's no way you can't win. No guts, no glory, it's a moral of the story. Wake up and quit your snoring, wasted lives are sad and boring. That's it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hip hop started out in the park. Hip hop started out in the park in the dark with the dark skinned people who couldn't go to school for music or buy the instruments. Young man by the name of, you guessed it, Clive Campbell. Oh, what'd you say? Cool Herc? That's also correct.
Yeah. Clive Campbell.
You guys get t-shirts later. I don't have them though. 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. Remember that, it will be on the test. 1520 Sedgwick, but it's spelled odd. Read it on my arm. If you can't, you're fucked. Anywho, that's where it all started. And what was cracking off? You had kids that was in the streets reacting how anybody would react to these situations and circumstances, socio-economic policies and such and so forth, broken glass, do your research, redline, all of that. And it's like Darth Vader type shit. He really did bring the balance to the universe, you know what I mean? Like Trump might really bring the balance type shit. Breathe. Because it be the darkest of moments that the most beautiful people create the most brightest of lights, the most healing of medicines. And so it's these times like this where it might, and it most likely is you, that is gonna create this beautiful thing that you've been thinking about since you was little. You was in the playground and you was like, this ain't clicking. This is something, and you've just been thinking about it your whole life. And now is the time to shine. And so the fact that you came out here to hear me spiel all crazy and awkward is hip hop. Not what that lady was saying about sitting backwards on a chair, but it's about creating. It's about creating healing out of violence. You know what I mean? Because the cats that was creating hip hop, you know what I mean? The first rappers, first DJs, first person that was in hip hop, matter of fact, was the DJ. And that's Kool Herc I was telling you about. And he's just flipping the break, the dopest part of the song, flipping it back and forth and flipping it back and forth. And then folks being folks in a capitalistic society, you have to get the MC to come and say, hey, yo, whoever got the red wagon, you got that red AMC wagon, you parked in a non-parking zone, you got to go get your shit. That was the first MC. It wasn't really you. You had to be real cool with that part and be like, this fool, look at this fool's shoes. And then once you got good, better and better, then you got to be able to say more and more stuff. And then it was cats that was like knowledge of self. And they started using that opportunity to express the knowledge that they had gained as folks that were dragged from a land that they had never been, that they'll never see possibly, and never been to, got their traditions and their tongue stolen from them, was told they would be killed if they tried to read. And from that was hip hop. So I thank you for sharing that, Orion, wherever you went. He's gone. All right. Long wind. You thought you was long wind? No, dog. I came for the throw. Who feels like taking another black man off the stage? Who spoke? Who wants to be the next spoke in the wheel? Miss Case. Make some noise for Casey.
Hi.
Hello.
So, I'm new to reading poetry, but this poem is called Save Me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, gnatting waveworms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless... Thank you.
Yeah, get that second spin.
Wisdom behind age. 101 can never look as good as it did on you. So independent that it blew my mind. Watching you move with no hesitation spoke highly about your spirit. Strength, something that separates you from so many. I keep having flashbacks of the last time I seen your glossy eyes, as if the fight was over. Your body was here, your soul was already settled with the way heaven smelled. I stood over your body. I stood over your weak body in disbelief, holding your fragile hand as if it was a feather. Fear of what my eyes was witnessing, you were slowly slipping away without warning. If only we would have healed, if only we could have healed you as you've done for each of us. You've now developed your wings in full. No more pain, no more hurt, no more worries. It's your time to sorrow high, as the Almighty God opens the gates to what is your new home. Save us a seat at the table until we're called home. Seemed like a bad dream. The thought of never hearing your voice, seeing your smile light the room with laughter, has my heart fluttered with tears. You were the light to my fire. With you here, I knew I wasn't alone. We shared stories about our final journey. Never would I have imagined saying goodbye this soon. It seems like just yesterday that we were laughing about this day. Only if you knew the impact you had was bigger than you. No matter how much time we spent together, I could never be ready to let go of you. Sounds selfish saying it. She knew it though. You were more than just my cousin. You were my hero. I trusted you with my life in hopes of spending forever with you. As I stand here today, laying you to rest, saying goodbye, saying I love you over and over, knowing that life will never be the same without you. You're now my angel. Fly high till we meet again.
That's a good segue from my coffee stained shirt. This young man here does not have the privilege to be with us. Does he look familiar to anyone here? Anyone know who this is? Momo?
Mark Thompson.
Mr. Mark Thompson. His case is still unsolved. Family still hasn't received justice. There's so many families that have lost their loved ones in this county. Sit in that situation because we have a district attorney that has just been sitting there. You know, people talk about Trump. This guy was Trump way before Trump, and nobody was just aware. You know, I don't want to say nobody cared, but man, we just got to really dig into it and not wait to be reactionary, but just be educated on all of our situations best we can. Nobody knows everything, and it's okay to not know. And as soon as we get into that space, we can really get into the space of learning and filling up those blank spots. Cousin of this young man was actually killed by the Chico PD, and his name was Desmond Phillips, and his family also is still yet to receive justice because of the same supervillain, District Attorney Ramsey, and qualified immunity. The list is long, and it's very imperative that we all look into how police get over 50% of our budget and where that goes. You know, look into how their pensions work, how quickly they're able to retire. You know, it's a long list of things that I won't belabor you all with here today, but I highly implore and hopefully inspire you to look further into that, because without more voices and more concern, we just can't get more change. You know, it's just as simple as that. And the people that have been doing the work, more importantly, you know, are just it's people running the marathon that we got to come in, you know, and tap on the shoulder and be like, oh, let me grab that baton for you and keep this race going and give them hope to keep going a little bit further as well. A piece that I wrote in that vein for the family, the Phillips family, I will share with you right now. So much pain, so much hate. While so many die, when others look away, I'ma share peace and create space. So let's share peace and create space. Because so many arguing what's not the truth, and they're never even truly knew. It would be silly too if it didn't cause so many based on the hue of the skin they didn't even get a chance to choose. Advancement of the youth, damaged by the rules, not a roadblock but a broken branch of clues. A few construe and use while the average confused, lose hope and choose dope. I climbed out and groove souls, some of that Negro spiritual dream flow of out of that. We might not make it to the mountaintop. We see the gleam though, in a clean coat in the mean snow. I've grown a hardened shell from a darkened trail to dance with Gargamel, come back and tell his secrets. The reasons, I'll be clear as possible and logical. Some obstacles take lots of skull. The skill and will of patience painted faintly across the cross of thinking. Maybe that's why we keep complaining where there's no. Maybe that's why we keep complaining. Damn. Or could it be the shaman gunning down a man you was paid to protect because you wasn't trained enough to contain him? And that's before explaining what part racial persuasion plays in Caucasian government agents. American conditioning goes both ways, but too many of us are afraid to say this. So many in the US are unwilling to see it. So scared they're gonna lose what they never knew they had. White privilege. They couldn't believe it. Meaning the protesters and speakers then killers in the street are a favorite change of topic when you ask how accountable police are. Emotions are inevitable, but what's the solution deferred? Or the value of an objective obscured for the pleasure of letting them know an opinion of their worth they could pretend they never heard. Thoughts to observe, most deeds are for sure. But what thoughts will you encourage with your deeds? Timing and words is where we are the cure, so take deep breaths. Speak with open minds and hearts. Then C starts and be smart, because we are the cure. And those last lines, man, I fucked that all the way up. Anyways, those last lines though, man, that's where it really hits though. It's just like, take your time, take deep breaths. That in itself is, I could give a whole lecture on, you know what I mean? We spend our life just, I gotta get to work, I gotta get home, I gotta get to the thing, I gotta go home, I gotta go to sleep, I gotta wake back up. And we lose track of getting a full breath down. getting a full breath out. And that's really, when you think about it, that's who you really are.
We had a rough year. And it's not over yet. 365 days and counting. Eventually, I had to stop holding my breath. People are the disease. COVID is just a symptom of idiocracy. The cure? Being decent. We've lost so much. Our arms are too tired from pointing the finger to lend a hand to our community. Over what? 28 square inches of fabric covering our fake smiles, so afraid of being sheep we can't be a team? So we let Walmart win, and we continue to cast blame anywhere but our ego, waiting for 2021 to fix everything. I won't hold my breath this time, but for now, we have burritos, and that was actually right when Cafe Coda finally opened again. I was like, yes. Sad one. It's called The Bus. I've been waiting for the bus for quite a while now. It never arrives, at least not for me. I instinctively put gas in my car while I envy the other passengers. Probably not the healthiest routine, but it's become my autopilot. I've been waiting for the bus for quite a while now. It never arrives, at least not for me. It's not so much to ask for. I just want to hand over my change, no longer worry about driving while Jesus takes the wheel. I've been waiting for the bus for quite a while now. It never arrives, at least not for me. Even if I could catch the bus, it's probably better that I drive. My friends and family would be horrified. Otherwise. I've been waiting for the bus for quite a while now. It never arrives, at least not for me.
Wrapping up my Chico experience. I got divorced 3 years ago, and when that happened, it kind of like shattered a lot of who I am, what I know, what's my purpose in life, what am I gonna do, who am I without this person, what do I do without this person. With this person, I was kind of like exiled from my family. She didn't really love them, and I was blinded by love for her. So I decided to come back to Chico. Most of my family lives here, and I got to reconnect. I get to discover. I moved in with my sister. I got to see my niece. I got to spend more time with my sister, my mom, my dad, brother. Kind of just reconnect and sharing the love and the space with them. Through that, I set this time aside. I was like, no, don't get in another relationship with someone who's just going to treat you like trash, even though they're hot and the sex is great. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Find you. Who are you? Do this. You know, who's Richard in this world of so many unknowns? But the one thing I can control is myself and my actions, what I can do. So I went to Tinder, and I was like, I'm just gonna be a hoe. It's hoeing time. Like, no relationship, no strings. Tinder helped me set boundaries. People who wanted a relationship, I'm like, nope, not for me. Not that. You wanna fuck? We're down. It's fine, it's easy, no strings attached. Moving down 2 years later, the first person I matched with, I am now married to. Her name is Kimmy, and I absolutely love her. It wasn't something I was looking for, it wasn't something I knew I needed. But as soon as I met her, and she told me a story of she went to this person's house and this guy was hitting on her and just being like, hey, what are you doing? I got anxiety. I was like, oh no, I think I love her. I think I love her. She's fantastic. Am I being jealous? Like, I said, I'm not getting attached. No, not again. But it was healthy. It was symbiotic. We both loved each other equally. We could communicate. We don't argue. We talk things out. I went back to my old job that I worked for before, and I was like, no, this is a step back. Why am I doing this? You're becoming the new Richard, not the old Richard. And it's not what happened. I actually met some really fantastic people. Corey being one of them, Casey another. Such fantastic people that I'm able to throw my net out and just catch all these fish that I want to collect and keep forever. People who make me happy, make me a better me in this world of all these unknowns. And I finally decided I'm going to follow my dream. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And so I have 2 weeks left in Chico before I move to Eugene, Oregon to pursue my dream of opening a card shop and being my own boss. I want to provide a space and an environment where nerds can just come, chill, geek out, spend their money, and just have that sense of community and safety and just and hygiene. Fuck, hygiene. But you know, I'm doing this, and I have this wonderful person who's devoted her life with me to see this through. And basically, I'm wanting to say this here to hopefully let you all know, like, take that first step, because it leads to the second step, to which the third, the fourth, just keep going. Don't say tomorrow, don't say the next day, just take the first step. And hopefully you get to where you want to go. Thank you.
Society. And I thank you all for coming out this evening. You're welcome to stay and fellowship with each other. I encourage you to get to know one another. So, you know what I mean, you never know what any of these relationships can bring to you. And with that, I thank you all for coming out and bid you adieu. There's water right here if you want a waterfall. There's a spray bottle as well. Get home safe. Love you all. Oh, hold on. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love my people.
I love my people.
On stolen land.
On stolen land.
No one is illegal.
No one is illegal.
Ashe. Buckeyes.